Hello and welcome back. So on our deck tech, we had some list from the user submitted page of the MDG Goldfish, and we call today's deck feature as a Jeskai equipment by Nathan, whatever it is. And it's happy that we're going to see how the new equipments from Outlaws of Junction, especially those which, as you can see here from the big score, the Lost GTA, and how it would perform in this kind of deck build. So we know that equipments, where basically we have some new versions that was added during the Pareksha. All will be one set. So as you can see here, we have a few that are somewhat notable that we can use to set up this kind of deck. So we have, of course, we have these relevant creatures that gets to benefit from the equipments, Jorkaden, Kemba, and of course the version of Nahiri, Forged in Fury from March of the Machines, The Aftermath. Let's take a look at the breakdown of the cards. Starting off with artifacts, we have 17 here. We have considered here as an artifact, but still this is an artifact creature, so it is under the creature column. We have 4 instants and 23 lands to use in this kind of deck build. So starting off, of course, with a new card, Lost GTA. So this is like a variant of the original of Mizawa's GTA. So this card would have this legendary artifact. It's cheaper to cast and to equip also. That's also one. And its ability that whenever your creature does combat damage, you can put up a +1 counter or charge counter, whatever, and that Lost GTA. So this counter cannot be used to do the following, in which you can untap target land, target creature can block this turn, or put a +1 counter on equipped creature. So anyway, this would still act as a utility in case that would also get you to have this effect, and maybe having more to develop your board or also gain you card advantage. So we have 3 copies in the deck, and make sure that you can draw this as early as possible, with also a lot of cards here that can benefit from that kind of a deck setup. And for our other new cards from Outlaws, so we have here a copy of Key to the Vault. So this card would really have you to also a legendary subtype. It won't really matter since it's only 1 copy, but its ability that whenever equipped creature does combat damage to a player, look at the top cards library with that many damage, so that you can also exile a non-land from among them and then put the rest on the bottom library in random order. And of course, you can cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Its only drawback is that it would equip for 3, but we have here cards that can, I think, get you to equip automatically, which you can attach equipment. So we have Ka here, Kemba Ka Enduring, that can bypass that mana cost. But anyway, in the long term or during the long game setup, you can just have a creature to importantly deal combat damage and trigger that exile cards and play it for free and that route. Now for the other new card here, which is the Assimilation Aegis. This is a mythic card from the new set. It has the casting cost of 1 white and blue, and equipped for 2. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature until Assimilation Aegis leaves the battlefield. So this is like a Banishing Light effect, but it is only an artifact equipment. And whenever becomes attached to a creature, for as long as remains attached to it, the creature becomes a copy of the creature card that was exiled with Assimilation Aegis. So that anyway, you can have this benefit. For example, you get to exile a very good creature from your opponent, then you get to equip it from your creature. It becomes a copy of that creature card and makes you very beneficial to attack and gain advantage, board advantage, pretty much with this kind of setup. Hence, it is 4 copies in the deck, and do take note that it's not legendary, so you can cast multiple copies of it, which can also act as a spot removal for your opponent's creatures. So also here we have Blade Hold War Whip. So this ability, which for the Mirrodin effect from 1, is like you can have this enters the battlefield to create a 2/2 red rebel creature token and then attach this creature to it. So basically it becomes a 3 to cast equipment with a 2/2 creature, and then it has ability that equip abilities to activate of other equipment cost 1 less to activate, and the bonus to have the equipped creature gets double strike. Its only drawback is that you can just need to equip 5, but the point here is that you can need to also have a free equip by having a 2/2 red rebel creature token attached with a blade hold war whip. But in any case, if you would be able to blink this one, then you can again generate another red rebel creature token and attaching with the blade hold war whip. So the important case is that you can have your other equipments cost 1 less to activate for the equip abilities, which is also a bonus with your a lot of variants of equipments here. So you can check here also, we have the variant or the variety of swords that you can use. So 2 copies of each, starting off with the Forge of Frontier. It gets the protection from red and green. This is from 1 also. And whenever equipped creature does damage to a player, equal the top 2 cards of the library, and then you may play those cards this turn, and you can play an additional land. And the Sword of Once You Feature from March of the Machines has protection from blue and black. Whenever equipped creature does combat damage to a player, surveil 2, and then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. And that would be exiled instead if it would be put into the graveyard this turn. And also we have the Big Score card, which is the new variants of sword that was published by Magic. This is the Sword of Wealth of Power. So this is a 3 to cast artifact equipment. It gets the equipped creature +2/+2 and protection from instants and sorceries. And also whenever creature deals combat damage, you will create treasure token, and then whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you can have that copy and choose the targets for the copy. So in any case, these variants of swords that can be very useful in any given scenarios, and as you equip the creature with this copy of your swords, then you can have these various effects triggered whenever they deal combat damage to a player. So very beneficial, very good effect, and can basically end games quickly. So random for your creatures, we have 4 copies of Rabbit Battery. This is not only just a 1/1 for haste, but also reconfigure to attach itself to a creature you control, and then you can also pay 1 again, or pay red to unattach. So whenever it attach, it will copy this ability. It will also give the creature +1/+1 in haste. So haste is also important in this kind of setup because of we have a few sword that can be needed to hit combat damage early on. So casting creature and then attaching the battery to make them haste would also get you to benefit the equip ability of dealing combat damage right away. So 3 copies of Jorkaden, the first Gold Warden. This ability that whenever it attacks, it will get +X, where the number of creatures you control for the number of X. Then if it is 4 or greater for the power, you will also draw a card. Then we have Kemba, as mentioned earlier. It is ability that when it enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to the creature, and then give creatures you control gets +1/+1. And also it has a good ability to somewhat go with the mana sink in the mid game by creating this army of 2/2 white card creature tokens, which can also get to equip for free with this ability. So that's 3 copies in the deck. And also we have Kaylan, the Fey-Blooded from Wilds of Midrange. So this is the purpose of having to search for a library for a Korra equipment card is very useful because of certain situations wherein you would need to have a certain equipment for a certain matchup. For example, the good option here is the color variance matchups, wherein you can search for any of the swords equipment and put it in your hand with this adventure ability. And also, if you ever cast it, double strike 2/2, and all creatures you control gets +1/+0 for each aura equipment attached to Kaylan, the Fey-Blooded. And last but not the least, we have also 3 copies of Nahiri. Nahiri has an affinity for equipment, so each equipment in play would get you to cost her 1 mana less. And also its ability that whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you can exile a top card of your library, and then you may play that card this turn, and you may cast equipment spells without paying its mana cost. So you give in here that we have a lot of equipments from the deck, and make sure that you can get an equipment for free, and also only worry for the ability to equip it this turn. And your only removal in deck, of course, is also aligned with equipment. That is the Rebel Salvo. It has also affinity for equipments and can deal 5 damage to the creature or planeswalker, and that permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. And last but not the least, for your lands, of course, we don't need to have a variance of fixing. And good thing is that the new set has provided us, especially these two cards, Inspiring Vantage and Spire Buff Canal, to make sure that your white, red, and blue mana cost is fixed as early as turn 1. And of course, some pain lands are also needed. We have a Battlefield Forge, Darkar Waste, also for the fix for blue-white. We have Shivan Reef, also Sigam Coast also considered here. And we have 2 mana land that can be activated in the mid game with Restless Bivouac, as well as the other mana fix. And of course, the channel lands are also present in this deck build. That is a total of 23 lands. And we check on the mana value, it's surprisingly 2.68. You can see that we still have a lot of 2-drops here, but eventually we'll need more mana to equip multiple times so that we can be efficient in having these equipments attached to your creatures as optimized as possible. Color distribution, you can check here that you can have more of the white with 19. It's almost even with the red, that's 20. And blue, it would be the only splash card here, but the fix is also aligned to that of red-white, which can also help you out in many fixing. And we don't really worry about blue. Maybe for the sideboard part of this deck, maybe we can have counter spells to get up with the access of the blue mana. And last but not the least are your tokens. We have a Rebel token produced by the 4 Mirrodin effect, Daka token by Kemba, Spirit token by Suken-san, and Treasure token, which is also produced by this new card. I think this is from Sword of Wealth and Power as an effect. And I think this is an interesting deck to try out in your next MTG Arena or MTG Online gameplay. Let me know in the comments below if you check this one. You can have a good discussion how this deck would play out. Maybe Artifact Hate would really be against this deck, but I think sideboard wise, we can still go with the usual switching and going with what the Hate would prevent us to do during sideboarded games. So we can have a good discussion of it. Just let me know in the comments below what you think of this deck, the tech that we have today. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. We have again Jeskai equipment by Nathan from the user submitted deck list from MTG Goldfish. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do notifications bell on, and see you guys on the next video.